Minglawa, welcome to Myanmar Today. I'm Henry Zin. Here are the latest news and reports. Yangon City Development Committee to get its own TV channel. Next, bronze statue commemorating legendary versatile artist Twantay Thein Tan inaugurated in Twantay, southern Yangon. A story coverage on the beauty of Harbin Ice and Snow Festival. And the last report on things Myanmar can learn from President Xi Jinping's Chinese classical literature-based philosophies. Before we get to the reports, why don't we have a look at what's happening in local news. Union Election Commission Chairman U La Thein held a meeting with officials of election subcommissions of Gaya State at the subcommission's office in the state on Monday. The chairman said 2019 was designated for compiling the electoral roll, and officials compiled the list from the township level according to set directives. U La Thein said the UEC works hard to ensure all eligible citizens do not lose the opportunity to exercise their voting rights, and he urged the subcommissions to be vigilant in ensuring the electoral rolls are comprehensive and updated regularly. He said they should cooperate with political parties and civil society organizations during the fourth directives phase to put up the electoral rolls where the public can view them unhindered and to raise voter awareness. The opening ceremony of the Bien Luin Children's Literary Festival was held at BEHS No. 1 Bien Luin on Monday and was attended by Union Minister for Information Dr. Pei Mien and officials. The Union Minister said they have arranged for the festival to be an environment that is relevant and delightful with literature. In addition, it aims to impart a sense of satisfaction in participating in collaborative activities at a young age. Mandalay Region Education Office Director U So Luin said the objective of this children's literary festival is coherent with lessons from the current education system's new curriculum, and that the new education system teaches cooperative participation and innovation through practical and fun lessons in the classroom. There are plans to organize the Children's Literary Festival in the major cities of Loikaw, Pa'an and Daware, where regional and state offices are located at the district level in Papun, Gangor and Parkent within this year. The Myanmar Chef's Art and the German Interplast will provide free operations for patients with cleft lip, palate, club foot, hand, tumors and burns at the People's Hospital in Monywa Township, Sagaing Region from 19th of January to the 1st of February. The program will run under the management of local government, the Public Health Department and civil communities of Monywa Township. Operations will be conducted by 3 groups of medical doctors from the German Interplast and Myanmar doctors to 100 patients in maximum from the townships of Sagaing Region. Civil communities will also provide free accommodation and transportation to the patients. The second edition of this program will be carried out in Loikaw Township of Gaya State in February. That's all with the local news, and here's the first report on Myanmar Today. YCDC-ran newspaper Myodo was halted due to some taking its readers by surprise. According to YCDC, which held a press conference on Monday, said it was not due to lack of profit in running print newspaper, but YCDC will soon get its own channel in the near future. Therefore, it is just the change of method in conveying message to the public. Williamson reports.
YCDC-run newspaper Myodo newspaper was recently halted, which caused a sudden surprise to the people. Many people suggested that lack of income by print newspaper may be the reason why YCDC stopped Myodo newspaper. However, speaking at its regular press conference on 13th of January, Mangso, Mayor of Yangon, said lack of profit by selling newspaper was not the case for the whole of the newspaper, but rather it's just changing the system, saying that YCDC will soon get its TV channel to keep the public updated about YCDC. YCDC also said that Myodo newspaper brought profit unlike many other privately run newspapers. While most of the newspapers are struggling to run, Myodo newspaper profited by running ads in the newspaper. Speaking at its regular press conference on 13th of January, Mangso said,
Many are worried with the news of Myodo newspaper halting, but actually we don't stop it, but we are just changing the method of conveying the news to the public. The reason is we don't have time to read newspaper, including myself. I hardly find time to read newspaper. As this Myeodor newspaper is semi-government newspaper, the public don't really rely on this newspaper to read about current and trending issues, but we mainly rely on private-owned news agencies. To be honest, if the state-run newspapers have tendency to run the news for the purpose of spreading propaganda, that's not a good thing, or in other words, there is not much of freedom as it is run by the government.
Most of the news agencies all over the world, including Myanmar, are struggling to keep up with the cost of running print newspapers, and as less people are reading newspaper, and instead the people are focusing on news on other social media platforms. Therefore, most of the news agencies are depending on ads to cover up the cost of running print newspaper. According to YCDC, it will soon get its own channel on state-run media platform. Speaking on what until the project big comments, Mamongsu also said that the plan was first orally confirmed by original Chief Minister Min Ting. But so far, there is no confirmation date on when will YCDC get its channel and get operational for conveying the news to the public with information from YCDC. YCDC also gave a statement on their performance since the last committee was formed. And speaking at the press conference, Mamongsu said,
The development work is ever progress and never-ending process which must never be stopped but continue to develop and go forward. We are not yet happy about the accomplishment we have made so far, and we will never be because we must progress continuously. It is never-ending process. We will keep on working to make a Yangon a livable city, green city, beautiful and developed city. In order to achieve all these goals, firstly, we need to have corruption-free government. We are not yet happy, but if you ask me whether we make the progress or not, definitely we have made lots of progress. However, we are not to stop here, but keep on working for further progress.
This is Wilson for MI Radio.
That's a report on Yangon City Development Committee to get its own TV channel. Alright, it's time now to check on the weather forecast in Myanmar. There's plenty of sun in Yangon during the day. Expect highest temperature of 33 degrees Celsius and the lowest of 17 degrees Celsius. In Naypyidaw, a pleasant weather with plenty of sun during the day. Expect highest temperature of 32 degrees Celsius and the lowest of 13 degrees Celsius. It's a nice weather with plenty of sun in Mandalay during the day. Expect highest temperature of 30 degrees Celsius and the lowest of 14 degrees Celsius. Well, we have another report coming up, and then we'll check on the stocks and currency exchange rates. A bronze statue to commemorate legendary versatile artist Twantay Thein Tan, who is the pride of Twantay Township, was inaugurated at Bayinnaung Junction near Detour Road in Twantay Township on Saturday, attended by Lotto representatives, responsible persons of Myanmar Motion Pictures Asia 1, nation famous artists, and artists from respective artistic arenas such as motion pictures and music, Twantay residents, and local enthusiasts. DJ and Jack have more.
The bronze statue to commemorate legendary versatile artist Twantay Thein Tan, who is the pride of Twantay Township, was inaugurated at Bayinnaung Junction near Detour Road in Twantay Township, southern Yangon, on 11 January, attended by Lotto representatives, responsible persons of Myanmar Motion Picture Organization, nation-famous artists, the artists from respective artistic arenas such as motion picture and music, Twantay residents, and local enthusiasts. The inauguration of Twantay Thein Tan's bronze statue was held on a grand scale. It had to take more than a year to cast Twantay Thein Tan's bronze statue. It is worth around 10 million kyats. The opening ceremony of Twantay Thein Tan bronze statue was also to commemorate 21st anniversary of his death. U Taoji, patron of organizing committee for Twantay Thein Tan bronze statue, said that
Twantay Thein Tan is the pride of Twantay Township. His popularity spread not only in Twantay Township but also across the country. The name of Twantay Thein Tan added to the fame of the township. The ceremony is also aimed at expressing gratitude for his valuable artistic work. His songs were composed based on deep feelings, and all his songs give compassion. It had to take over 1 year to cast the statue. It was made in Mandalay and it weighed 55 pieces of bronze. It is worth around 10 million. 20 residents feel delighted to see this statue. It is also intended for next generation youth to envy of Twantay Thein Tan and nurture artists like him.
Uji Soton, the writer with Academy Award holder, said,
Twantay Thein Tan was a nationwide famous singer, writer and actor, and he was a versatile artist. He worked for artistic works in much of different fields. He was also clever at writing. The movie of Koyamiya Brauye attracted the attention of Myanmar movie lovers. He also served as a movie director. He gained popularity in the movie field as well. His movie titled Monada Chega Tabalu was shortlisted for Academy Award. He created a lot of songs. I express thanks to Twantay residents who contributed towards the realization of the statue, and I feel proud of it as well. I wish Twantay residents appeared famous artists like Twantay Tan. I wish the statue exists forever.
It was also learned that Twantay Thein Tan was Myanmar citizen singer, writer, composer, actor, director, and dramatics who served the interest of the people as an artist. He starred in the movie of Koyamiya Brauye, which gained popularity among Myanmar movie lovers. Since childhood, he took great interest in writing poems, composing songs, singing songs, especially music. He learned music under Twantay Madeleine Utanchwe. Mawunpapa Thein Tan, daughter of legendary versatile nation-famous artist Twantay Thein Tan, said,
I feel delighted to see the contribution towards the realization of the statue. For unveiling the statue to be existed in Twantay Township, the audiences live in Twantay Thein Tan, the responsible persons of the departments concerned, Twantay residents helped to build Twantay Thein Tan's bronze statue. Every year, we commemorate the anniversary of our father's death at a monastery in Danlin, Yangon.
The fanfare to mark the inauguration of legendary versatile artist Twantay Thein Tan, who is the proof of Twantay Township, was held in Twantay Township for 2 days. So, as to honor Twantay Thein Tan, the artist sings songs composed by Twantay Thein Tan on the occasion.
That's a report on a bronze statue commemorating legendary versatile artist Twantay Thein Tan, inaugurated in Twantay, southern Yangon. And now we have an information on currency rates from Myanmar Central Bank. $1 is at 1,483 jets. 1 Chinese renminbi is at 215 jets. 1 euro is at 1,650 jets. 1 pound sterling is at 1,928 jets. 1 Singapore dollar is at 1,101 jets. 1 Malaysian ringgit is at 365 jets, and 1 Thai baht is at 49 jets, and the Indian rupee is at 20 jets. Gold is trading at $1,540. Silver is at $18. And Brent crude oil is at $58. On the Yangon Stock Exchange, FMI dropped 500 and it's at 11,000. MTSH is at 3,850. MCB remains at 8,100. FPB is at 22,500. TMH went up 50 and it's at 2,900. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today. You can log on to our website at miradio.com.mm and catch many other great programs of MI Radio on the website. We're also running on 96.1 FM in Yangon, 96.5 in Manali, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. Alternatively, you can download our app on both iOS and Android platforms. It's easy to search, just type in Myanmar INTL Radio and you'll find the app. Download it on your devices so you can listen to our radio programs on the go. Stay with us as we bring you more reports on Myanmar Today. Harbin International Ice and Snow is an annual winter festival that takes place with a theme in Harbin, Heilongjiang, China, and now is the largest ice and snow festival in the world. Participants in the festival were mainly Chinese in the beginning, but it has since become an international festival and competition, with the 2018 festival attracting 18 million visitors and generating 28.7 billion yuan of revenue. David Henry has more.
As the tourists from across the world gather to celebrate the start of New Year, the festival would continue till February in Harbin, Heilongjiang, China, as China's top government officials, senior leaders of the Communist Party of China, CPC, diplomats, and foreign journalists attend the proceedings in huge numbers. The event was hosted by the Harbin Municipal Party Community's Cyberspace Office, Harbin Culture Radio, and co-organized by International Online Heilongjiang Channel. So let's hear out some of the visitors' perspective with the Harbin Ice and Snow Festival.
Absolutely spectacular. So much, it's so large, it's so big. I am very impressed. It's been very, very impressive. And the sculptures are beautiful. They were, breathtaking. They just, the amount of creativity involved in building them was just amazing. I don't know how they came up with it. It was absolutely spectacular. Whoever tells you it's too cold, they don't know what they're talking about. The cold is fantastic. I love it here. As a Canadian, we love the cold.
Very warm-hearted people up here in the north in Heilongjiang and in Harbin here, having a great time. They're beautiful, very tall, very lit up, and very interesting to look at and walk around and see. Absolutely, it's a bucket list place to come, and everyone's got to check it out.
With the launching of the festival, tremendous amount of artistically choreographed fireworks lit the sky above ice sculptures as visitors rejoice the unique experience at the world's biggest ice and snow festival. Over 10,000 workers work for 15 days to build ice sculptures to make the festival as the world's largest ice snow festival. Over 170,000 cubic meters of ice bricks were cut into pieces from the nearby Songhua River to develop Ice City at Harbin. The ice was enough to fill 70 Olympic swimming pools. Official says this year the festival has an ice-snow integration, happy to go together theme as activities of tourism, culture, fashion, trade and sports have been showcased together. The Harbin International Ice and Snow Festival in the frigid northeastern Chinese city is known for its massive, elaborate and colorfully lit ice sculptures featuring animals, cartoon characters and landmarks. With that being said, one of the visitors was super excited to share his feelings with MI Radio.
Wonderful. It's one of a kind, like nothing I've ever seen before. Highly recommend it. We're looking right here at a sculpture that must be, 150 feet high. It's a tremendous honor to be here. We have to say thank you to Harbin for their hospitality. In Canada, I have seen some, but nothing on this scale. I just recommend that everybody watching come to Harbin and the Ice and Snow Festival and see this once in their life.
The Harbin Ice and Snow Festival is not only an exposition of ice and snow art, but also an annual cultural event for international exchange. Every year, there are many ice sculpture experts, artisans, and fans from America, Canada, Japan, Singapore, Russia, China, etc., gathering in Harbin City to participate in the ice sculpturing competitions and to communicate with each other in the ice and snow world. Also, Harbin ice lanterns have been exhibited in most of China's main cities as well as in many countries in Asia, Europe, North America, Africa, and Oceania.
It's wonderful. It's my first time to see snow, and then I'm come from the tropical place, and It's so very, very beautiful place. Wow, it's great. It's one of the big fireworks I've ever seen before. You know, I'm from the tropical city with 35 degree and now with minus degree. It's wonderful. Yeah, you might come in the Harbin. It's one of the best festivals in the world.
For more than 40 years, the city's local natural resource of ice and snow has been fully explored to provide joy and fun for visitors to the city. Now, during the festival, many sporting competitions are also popular, including ice skating and so on. Weddings, parties, and other entertainments are now very much a feature of this ice world, adding their own contribution to the celebrations of this great festival of art, culture, sports, and tourism. Reporter David Tanner reporting from Myanmar International Radio.
That's a report on the beauty of Harbin Ice and Snow Festival. And here's the last report on things Myanmar can learn from President Xi Jinping's Chinese classical literature-based philosophies. Saya Henglak, Myanmar's acclaimed writer with vast works on China economic and politics, has launched the book he arranged, titled The Chinese Classical Texts Admired by President Xi Jinping. He also conducted a talk show on the book, which is set to be held starting Tuesday on Skynet Media. Here's a report.
People's Republic of China is an important neighboring country to the Republic of the Union of Myanmar. Being neighbors, the two countries share similar geographical and philosophical aspects. Therefore, it's vital for Myanmar to learn from China, which has risen to become the world's second largest economy. The Chinese classical literary pieces embraced by the President Xi Jinping help us understand the profound and vast culture of China as well as the philosophy of the China's leader in governance. The study of these classics is also believed to find the common ground of the political philosophy between the country's leaders.
I have studied President Xi Jinping's speeches before. I knew it's great, then I happened to find out why it's good. The speeches are wonderful as the pieces are excerpts from classical literature. There is a saying in Myanmar literature which goes, "All but gold." Not every new thing is good, so he embraces the old but precious and useful philosophical things and he incorporates them into his speech, and he exercises them in his administration. President Xi is a very well-read person. He is an avid reader with keen interest in Western literature such as Russian, German books, and many others. So he put what he learned from books into practice. After the previous leaders have set a great foundation for China, President Xi has endeavored to execute the development, shaping today's developed China. Thus, China has risen to become the second richest country with political stability. So we should learn from China. We should learn how China strives to develop. We are also having discussions with ministers and high-ranking officials from both countries on the further bilateral cooperation. We can learn from China this way.
Xia Hengle launched the book he arranged, titled The Chinese Classical Texts Admired by President Xi Jinping on January 14. He also concluded a talk show on the book, which is set to be held starting January 14 on Skynet Media. The book is the translated work of content from Pinyin Jin run program by China Media Group.
I'm glad that this program will be aired on Skynet Media in Myanmar. This is based on the program of China Media Group called Pinyin Jiren. The program features the philosophies of the President Xi Jinping based on the classical literature and poems. So the program highlights how President Xi exercises these philosophies from this literature in his administration. It also portrays the historical evidences and how solid Chinese culture is. So the program will also help explain the policy and meaning behind this literature.
Chinese culture has been firmly around since 1,000 years ago. It's a firm and developed existence. With the development of a culture comes the development of the literature. By learning the classic literature of the past, we can understand the Chinese culture, and it's a great help in deciding the plan to preserve the culture. So, if we understand the classic literature that President Xi Jinping embraces, this will also serve as a great help for our country's development as well, because we are neighboring countries in Asia and the two countries have similar culture. The neighbors need to be in good terms with each other. It's better to have closer friendship. Better still is, the people-to-people bond is much more vital than government-to-government friendship. The friendship is contingent on mutual understanding and mutual respect between the peoples. China also needs to recognize Myanmar people's perspectives and feelings. And if Myanmar people in turn recognize China's culture, ideology, and so on, the bilateral friendship will be stronger.
The knowledge from the talk show aims to give guidance to Myanmar, especially young people. Also, the book is presented as a gift marking the 70th anniversary of China-Myanmar diplomatic friendship.
That's a report on things Myanmar can learn from President Xi Jinping's Chinese classical literature-based philosophies. The city of Aksu in northwest China's Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region has undergone tremendous changes these past decades. Once a barren region lying on the edge of the country's largest desert, the Taklamakan, Aksu and its outlying areas have seen rapid urban development and greening. This pace of change, however, is often brought up in certain Western narratives as grating against age-old customs, one that touches on an intensely personal and religious subject for locals: cemeteries. A cemetery in Saya County of Aksu Prefecture has recently become the focus of international controversy. CNN reported that graveyards in the region were being demolished by authorities, highlighting stories such as that of Aziz Issa Elkon, a Uyghur poet now residing in London, who had said he couldn't find his father's grave on Google Maps. The article implies that the destruction of these Uyghur cemeteries, a central part of local communities, was part of a systematic effort to erase Uyghur culture.
What happened to your father's remains?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Shu 2017 ayda kelib ketdi, atasi yo'q kesilbakdi. Kelib 10 kun turib yo'qlab ketgan. Shu betim ankiza 2017 yili 11 ayın 4 kun tugab ketdi. 2017 yili 13 ayda. Telefonda tish so'rashdik, tish tutdingizmi, bolalarıngiz tishim dedim. Dedi, men aşağı dedim, meni tish tutdingizmi, og'rib qolmaydi dedi, salomatingiz asrang, bolalarim tish yaxshi turyaptim dedi shu. Shu yerlikni aşağı dedi, Konyalik aşağı dedi. Kon aşu tatqal aş biram askus qon arsidi. Yağmur yağgan çağda aşu kesakli uçurulup düşüp ketip qolgan. Yağmur yağıp shamol chiqqan berib topap berib shu tuyshuli qujutdiq, ishli tatib ketip qolgan, muyshulkis ketip qolgan. Mashundaq kunni ko'rgan. Nimlos talab qilib mash yerni solib berdi, partiya hukumat rahbarligida biz naydi baq xo'sh mashdaq o'lkani mashdaq chiroyli yer yotqizganga.
In other news, widespread anger over the Iranian government for shooting down a passenger plane and then misleading the public about it simmered for a third day on Monday, with the police and protesters facing off in at least 2 cities and increasing demands from lawmakers for accountability. A video from Iran showed students on Monday chanting slogans including, quote, "Clerics get lost," outside universities in the cities of Isfahan and Tehran, where riot police were filmed taking positions on the streets. Tehran Police Chief Hossein Rahimi said in a statement on state media, "Police treated people who had gathered with patience and tolerance." Accusations of lethal force against protesters should be fully investigated, a spokesman for UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said on Monday. At least 2 rare one-horned rhinoceros have died within a week in Nepal's Chitwan National Park, the country's largest rhino habitat located some 160 kilometers from the capital city, raising concerns about the sharp increase in deaths of rhinos. A female rhino of estimated 20 years old was found dead in a swamp on Saturday. According to officials at CNP, the death was believed to be a natural one, and the rhino was pulled out by an excavator. The park had recorded the first rhino death of this year on January 5th, when a baby rhino of estimated 5 to 6 years old was found dead in a mustard field in Nawalparasi district. The baby rhino was believed to have died due to an electric shock, but a further investigation is required. The increased number of rhino deaths due to natural reasons in the last few years has raised concerns among the authorities and conservation partners. Well, that's a wrap, and thanks for joining me on Myanmar Today. I'm Henry Zin. Have a good day, everyone. I'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye now.